100 people comment, go. It is time for Andrew and the JLP to go. Heightened levels of corruption. Heightened levels of corruption inside of the party. They must go. This government should not stay. And on me say so. The people are saying it. 100 people who think a time for Andrew Holness and the JLP to go, like the video. 100 people who think a time for the Prime Minister and the JLP to go, comment go. 100 people comment go, 100 people like the video. If you believe that it is time for him to go and in party to go, video footage will be provided right now coming up in this segment. Jamaica protests gather together for the removal of this government. One whole heap of foolishness them do, one whole heap of corruption them involved in, one whole heap of things when I benefit Jamaica they're doing. They do not care for this country, only to get money in their pocket. That is what is being said right now. Civil movements, civil society, work groups, the opposition takes to the streets of Jamaica, crossroad to be exact, right now, in one aim, and that is to see the betterment of Jamaica. Listen, hundreds rallying crossroads over corruption, US deportation, deal and governance concern. That is what is being said. And let us fling Andrew Wheatley in there too. Tells us that the Prime Minister himself involves in corruption. That is why he still supports Andrew Wheatley. The Integrity Commission refers Andrew Wheatley for serious charges of corruption. Did the Prime Minister take action? No, he didn't. Is it because of his situation? Andrew Holness is supporting corruption. That is why he supports Andrew Wheatley. That is what the opposition minister says. Who is Mark Golding? I have the video footage for you right now. Of course, you know that Prayer Tuesdays continues. Alright, and Virtual TV prays that you have a great day today. And remember that your prayer life rules your entire life, my people. Alright? Yes, 100 people comment go, Andrew Holness and this government must go. 100 people like the video. We're going to talk about it coming up in this report. Alright? Yeah. So, my people, Jamaica are gathering together. Hundreds of Jamaicans right now in one aim, and we will discuss it right now. Gather together in Crossroad, downtown Kingston. Subscribe to the channel and hit the post notification bell so that our Virtual TV drops content, you will be notified instantly. Share the video. Don't go away, watch this.
I'm here in Crossroads just to lend support to the demonstration that has been promoted by civil society groups that came on board together to protest some of the things going on in the country. You know, the way in which the government has approached this third country national deportee situation, the government's lack of transparency and frankly dishonesty in describing how this came about and what it is for. And you know, we're aware that under US law, this whole arrangement is being questioned. That's an unsettled issue, and we think it's very premature and inappropriate for Jamaica to be embarking on an arrangement like this while the situation under the US law remains very uncertain. Not to mention the fact that there seems to be no discernible benefit to Jamaica from entering into this arrangement, and we only heard about it because it was leaked to the media. And then there's the whole question of Andrew Wheatley and his continued presence in the cabinet of the country. A week and a half later, after the Integrity Commission has reported to Parliament that he's being referred for prosecution, he's to be charged with serious offences of corruption. In our system of governance, the standard procedure in such a situation is for that minister to step back, to either be forced to resign or to voluntarily resign from the cabinet until that matter is resolved or those issues are finally resolved in the courts. And for the Prime Minister to say that he has continued confidence in Mr. Wheatley in these circumstances reflects extremely badly on him and his judgment, because He claims he was not aware when he appointed Mr. Wheatley for the second time to the cabinet that the Integrity Commission was investigating him. That, if true, indicates a basis for removing him immediately anyway, because that ought to have been made clear at the time, rather than take the Prime Minister by surprise, if indeed it really did. But we know that the Prime Minister has his own Integrity Commission issues which are unresolved, and no doubt he's afraid of whatever precedent it may set for Mr. Wheatley to be asked to step back from the cabinet, because the issues also affect Mr. Holness' own status there. But Jamaican people deserve better. We deserve a government that we can trust, a government that abides by established norms of good governance. And that is why I'm here supporting the civil society demonstration, because I see our interests as essentially being aligned around these issues. And of course, there's the whole question of Hurricane Melissa and the total lack of transparency in how donated funds by well-wishers, people who have, out of the kindness of their hearts, try to assist victims of the hurricane, only to hear that the
Alright, welcome to each and everyone. Welcome. We're not going to waste our time. We're going to get into the reports quickly. Hundreds of Jamaicans gathered in Crossroads, St. Andrew this morning to, of course, protest and raise concerns about what they say is a country mired in corruption and lacking moral and ethical leadership. Now, the movement who wore yellow and represented a wide cross-section of society criticized the government for entering into a memorandum of understanding MOU with the United States to accept third country nationals, a development first reported by the Gleaner 2 weeks ago. Now, participant after participant expressed the view that the government had disrespected the Jamaican people by failing to respond to questions about the details of the MOU. Now, the movement also raised concerns about the ethical dilemma facing Government Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley, who is the subject of an indicative ruling by the Director of Investigation and the Integrity Commission recommending that he be charged with illicit enrichment after failing to account for more than $160 million within the space of 1 year. People no can't make that man put the government a win back, you know. Really and truly, you can't make them win back, you know. Yeah, man. These people must not be allowed to win. Again, vote them out, everybody. Vote them up on the like button. Everybody vote out Andrew on the like button right now. Vote him out. Everybody click the like button and vote out Andrew right now. Vote him out. Now, the Commission's ruling, which was recently tabled in Parliament, said Wheatley could not account for the discrepancy between his declared earnings and his net worth. Now, another issue raised by the movement was that they described the government's continued failure to spend funds collected on behalf of Jamaicans affected by Melissa. Organizer Kay Osborne says she was very pleased with the turnout, noting that the rally brought together various groups, individuals, and members of political class. We invited everybody. We invited the two political parties and we thank them for coming. This is about a Jamaica for all of us. This is not a country being run by a king where after the king speaks, nobody else can. We are in a moral and ethical crisis, and this is why this is why we're here this morning, because somebody has to take a stand, Osborne told the Gleaner. Now, she says that Jamaican people deserve better and deserve more, adding that the government's behavior to date meant it could not be trusted in a democracy. You hear for yourself. More to come. Leave a like on the video, share the video. So forward.